Okay, let's take a look at this Reef Octopus Varios 6 pump unboxing. I've never had any Reef Octopus equipment. I just bought their skimmer for my new tank I'm building out. Haven't actually tried the skimmer. And when I got the skimmer, I was so impressed with the build quality and the pump that was on it. The skimmer I have is one of the 250 internals, and it has a Varios 6 pump on it. I was so impressed with the build quality of the pump itself. When I was assembling the skimmer, I thought I'm going to get one of those for my bulkhead system. So this is actually not going to power my tank. I have a Biz pump that's going to be coming, a Biz A200, that I'll give a little review on as well. But this is going to be pumping water through my manifold, and so I have a separate pump for that. And I thought I'd get the Varios 6. It's controllable. It's all DC. I was so impressed with Reef Octopus quality, I thought I'd actually get the pump as well. So to give you an idea what's in here, this looks like a little quick start guide right there. Here's the power brick. Again, kind of a love-hate relationship with these. Do you want to do this, or would you rather do an integrated one that plugs in? These are sometimes nice because you can hide these up somewhere and not take a lot of room in areas of your tank. Of course, the plug then goes from here into your apex system, so it takes up kind of a narrow spot in your apex. Comes with nice fittings. These are 1.25 inches. So my return is actually only going to be 1 inch, so I'll have to reduce these down a bit. Yeah. Of course, these are both glue fittings. Here's a barb fitting as well with the gaskets and such. So this looks to be 1 inch thick or so barb. Won't be using this. I'm probably going to hard plumb. Maybe I'll do a little bit of rubber to keep noise down. This is actually going to be a submerged pump in my sump. My Biz will actually be done externally. Here's the controller. Again, I've never used one of these yet. I just really like the quality, the overall quality. This is really nice plastic. It's here, really clean. You know, the buttons feel really solid, but it's controllable. It has a feeding mode. You can put it in feeding mode for I think 15 or 60 minutes. I won't be using that. I'll be using, of course, my Apex controller for that. But you can adjust the variable speed and, of course, the power. It also has a couple of things on here. It has a flow switch on-off, and so you can connect this up to a flow switch. And so if your tank or sump starts to overflow, it'll automatically shut this off for you, or starts to get too low, it'll shut this off for you. Of course, really nice fittings, like screw down fittings and stuff going over to the pump. Here's the power cord to the pump, pretty hefty. Here's the pump itself, as well as the little intake. It obviously goes on here, screws down on here, a little screen to keep debris out of it. The pump itself, really nice quality. I mean, really, if you hold this, it's just a nice feel to it. I understand you can actually open these up without any tools at all. This just pops off, this twists off. I haven't done it. Of course, I probably won't do it to my first cleaning. The overall build quality is a really nice feel, really nice solid. You get a sense of some of the flow rate. This is in liters, we use in gallons. I think it does about 1,700 gallons an hour. So, you know, draws supposedly 70 watts, 36 volts. We'll see how much power it consumes. I'm not going to be running it nearly that hard. I want to run pumps about 50-60% power. I think they're going to be a little quieter. Nice little rubber feet, should be dampened, of course, and not transfer any sound to the sump. But a really nice overall quality to that. Also in the box, you have that flow switch I was talking about. A little mount for it, so you can adjust up and down in your sump, kind of handy. And the flow switch, or the float switch itself, so that if the sump water gets too low, it shuts this off automatically for you, or too high. I'm sure you can set it probably any way you want in your Apex. Downside, though, is that this only does work in their controller, so this is not an Apex compatible float switch. So it does screw into, of course, their controller here, and of course this would screw back into their you know, controller as well. So it's controlling the pump itself. So it kind of gives you a sense of what's in the box. Let me give you some dimensions here. The control unit itself is about 4.25 inches long. Of course, the connectors stick out a little bit farther, so say 5 inches by the time you get the connectors on there. And then, of course, it's about 3, maybe 2 3/4, about 3 inches wide, 3 inches to the bottom of the bracket here. And the thickness is pretty thin. It's only about 1.25 inches thick. It does come with a nice little bracket, so you can screw it right to the wall, set it in place. Definitely a clean unit. Power plugs in here. This has a variable speed port, so the 0 to 10 volt for the apex I'm going to plug into here. Doesn't come with a cable to do that, it appears. So I'm just getting an extra cable to plug into the apex to do that. Of course, it wouldn't make sense. They wouldn't know you're going to plug it in an apex or not. But I understand when you plug it into here, this is pretty much dead. The apex controls everything. I'm not sure you can control a whole lot from here once the apex is actually in control. But it gives you a sense of the Vario 6. Very, very good build quality. I can't wait to hear or not hear the sound. Hopefully it's nice and quiet. And so far, I've been pretty impressed. Again, I haven't run any of their equipment. I've read reviews online. Everybody seems to be pretty happy with it. But it kind of gives you a sense. Let me give you the overall size of this. So this, without the little basket on top, runs about 6 inches long. With the basket, it's going to be quite a bit longer. So you get a sense of, with the basket, it's probably going to be an overall length of about 7.5 inches. So you got to make sure you have a little bit of room in your sump for that. Height-wise, it runs about 6 inches, maybe 5 3/4 inches high. Actually, right there is about 5.5 inches high. And then width-wise, it's running about 4 inches wide. We get the base measurement here. Yeah, actually 3 3/4 inches wide. So it gives you a sense of 3 3/4 wide by just about 5.5 to 6 without the basket. And of course, height, as we said, is about 5 1/4. So it kind of gives you a sense of how big it is. Again, it comes with quite a bit of stuff. All the connectors are nice. The overflow sensor is nice. The overall build quality looks really good. So hopefully I'm happy with this, and I'll give you some more reviews once it's actually up and running and I get to see how quiet it is. Hope you guys have a good day.